To Scott Swing Sports, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back with my final preseason predictions for the NFL and college football this year. I'll be back next Thursday with my college football predictions as I start the college football season. With me going to the UCF game next Thursday, I'll be posting Thursday morning, probably before I head out to UCF. So we'll see what happens with that, and then it's time for my final preseason predictions. Like I said, today I'm doing the Chargers and the Ravens for my two friends. Kyle Hymas and Joey and Steve Bergen. So let's get into those predictions right now. First off, for the Chargers, first game out at home against the Dolphins. I have this game as the loss. I think Tua and the Dolphins are going to be a little bit too much of a high-powered offense this year for the Chargers to beat them. So I'm going to go with the Dolphins on the road over the Chargers. Second week of the season, taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to go with the Chargers taking on the Tennessee Titans. In Nashville, I'm going to go with the Chargers to get a win here. I think the Titans are going to be an okay team this year, but not up to the standard that the Chargers are this year, so I'm going to go with the Chargers on the road over the Titans. Next up, on the road at Minnesota, I have this game as a loss. I think the Vikings are going to be very good this year. I think Kirk Cousins is going to be very good. I think Justin Jefferson is very good. So I'm going to go with the Vikings at home over the Chargers. Next up, you guys host the Las Vegas Raiders. I have this game as a win. I think the Raiders are going to be probably the weakest team in the AFC West this year. So I'm going to go with the Chargers at home over the Raiders. Next up, you guys host the Dallas Cowboys. I have this game as a win. I think it's another East Coast team coming to the West Coast. So I'm going to go with I'm actually going to go with the Cowboys here. I think this is a virtual home game for Dallas because Charger fans seem to never show up at home games. So I'm going to go with Dallas to get a win here on the road against the Chargers. Next up, you guys head into Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. I have this game as a loss as well. I think the Chiefs are still the best team in the AFC West, and I think it's going to be a long time until the Chargers take over the Chiefs as the leaders in the AFC West. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs at home over the Chargers. Next up, you guys take on the Chicago Bears. I have this game as a win. I think the Bears will be better this year, but still not up to the standard that the Chargers are. So I'm going to go with the Chargers at home over the Bears. Next up, you guys go on the road to New York to take on the Jets. I have this game as a loss. I think the Jets are a little bit better. I think Aaron Rodgers will outplay Justin Herbert this week. So that is 3-6 so far for the Chargers. I believe. No, 3-5 for the Chargers so far, yes. Because you guys have had your bye week already. So yeah, 3-5 so far, so let's keep going. Next up, you guys host the Detroit Lions. I have this game as a win. I think Herbert and the Chargers will do enough this week to get it done at home over the Lions. I think the Lions will be much better this year, but I still think the Chargers are a little bit better, so I'm going to go with the Chargers at home over the Lions. Next up, you guys head into Lambeau to take on Jordan Love and the Packers. I'm going to take the Chargers to win this game. I think the Chargers are a little bit better than Green Bay is right now, so I'm going to go with the Chargers on the road to get it done against the Packers. Next up, at home against Baltimore, I have this game as a loss. I think the Ravens are going to be one of the best teams in the AFC this year, so I'm going to go with the Ravens at home on the road against the Chargers. Next up, you guys head into Gillette to take on Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots. I have this game as a win. I think the Pats are not going to be very good this year, so I'm going to go with the Chargers to get a win here at home on the road in New England against the Patriots. Next up, you guys host the Denver Broncos. This game is a win. I think Denver is going to be improved this year with Sean Payton, but I still don't think that they're going to give the Chargers and the Chiefs a run for their money in the AFC West. So I'm going to go with the Broncos. I'm going to go with the Chargers at home over the Broncos. Next up, into Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. This game is a loss. I think this game is a win, actually. I think GBG is not going to be good enough this year to hang around in the AFC West. So I'm going to go with the Chargers on the road in Vegas against the Raiders. Next up, the Buffalo Bills at home. I'm going to go with the Bills on the road. I think Josh Allen and the Bills are still a little bit too tough to beat right now in the AFC East. So I'm going to go with Josh Allen and the Bills to get it done on the road against the Chargers. Next up, the Denver Broncos on the road. I'm going to give you guys a win here. I think Denver's going to be improved, like I said, but it's just not good enough this year to beat the Chargers. And then the final game of the season, January 7th, Sunday. I'm expecting this game to potentially be Sunday Night Football if the division is still up for grabs, but I don't think it will be. But as it'll be Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs hosting, going on the road to LA to take on the Chargers. I'm actually going to go with the Chargers in this game. I don't think the Chiefs will be playing a lot of starters in this game. So I'm going to go with the Chargers at home over the Chiefs, and that'll be a 10-win season for the Los Angeles Chargers. I don't know if that'll be good enough to get into the playoffs this year with how stacked the AFC is, but I think it'll be close enough to get you guys potentially into the playoffs. Now we go into the Baltimore Ravens, a team that I'm very high on coming into the season. First game out, taking on the Houston Texans. I have this game as a win. I think the Texans are still in rebuild mode, even though they did get a couple of very nice players in the draft. I still think they're in rebuild mode, so I'm going to go with the Ravens at home to get it done in the home opener against the Texans. Next up, you guys go on the road to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. I'm going to go with the Bengals at home. I think the Bengals are a little bit better than you guys are right now. So I'm going to go with the Bengals at home over the Ravens. Next up, you guys headed back home to take on the Indianapolis Colts. I'm going to go with the win. I think Anthony Richardson's going to have a really tough time against that very good Ravens defense. So I'm going to go with the Ravens at home over the Colts. Next up, you guys head into Cleveland to take on the Browns. I have this game as a loss. I think Cleveland is going to hang around this year in the AFC North. It's going to be tough to win a lot of these games on the road in the AFC North this year. So I'm going to go with the Browns at home over the Ravens. And next up, you guys go into Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. I have this game as a loss as well. I think the Steelers are right there with you guys as two of the top teams in the AFC North, and I think on the road in Heinz Field, I think it's going to be a little bit too tough. So I'm going to go with the Steelers on the road at home over the Ravens. Now that it'll start getting a little easier as you guys head into back at home to take on the Titans. I have this game as a win. I think the Titans are going to be very good this year. I don't think the Titans will be as good as they have been in years past. So I'm going to go with the Ravens at home over the Titans. And I believe this will be the first London game of the year with a 9:30 a.m. start time on NFL Network. Next up, you guys heading to back at home. No bye week in between the London game and this game, so that hurts a little bit. But as you guys host the Detroit Lions, I have this game as a win as well. I think the Lions are going to be improved this year, but still not good enough to hang around with the Lions, with the Ravens. So I'm going to go with the Ravens at home over the Lions. Next up, you guys go on the road to take on the Arizona Cardinals. I have this game as a win. I think the Cardinals might be the weakest team in the NFL this year. They may be looking for Caleb Williams in the draft next year, so I'm going to go with the Ravens on the road over the Cardinals. Next up, you guys host the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to go with the Ravens here. I think the Ravens are a little bit better than Seattle, and I don't trust Geno Smith to be as good as he was last season. So I'm going to go with the Ravens at home over the Seahawks. Next up, you guys host the Cleveland Browns. I have this game as a win. I think the Browns, like I said, are going to be better this year, but not good enough to beat you guys in Baltimore. So I'm going to go with the Browns at home over the... I'm going to go with the Ravens at home over the Browns. Next up, you guys host Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. I have this game as a win as well. I think at home it's going to be tough to beat you guys, especially on a Thursday night short week. But I think the Ravens will do enough to get the win at home over the Bengals. Next up, you guys go on the road to take on the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm going to go with the Chargers actually in a slight upset here. I think the Chargers are a good team this year. So I'm going to go with the Chargers on the road to get it done against the Ravens. Next up, you guys host the Los Angeles Rams. Still some good players on that team, but I think the Ravens will do enough to get a win here on the road at home over the Rams. Next up, you guys host the Jacksonville Jaguars. You guys go on the road to Jacksonville. Actually, Sunday Night Football. It's going to be weird seeing the Jaguars in prime time this year, but I'm going to go with the Ravens on the road in Jacksonville. I think Lamar and the Ravens will do enough in prime time Sunday Night Football to get it done on the road against the Jags. Next up, Monday Night Football, Christmas Day, so maybe it'll be a nice Christmas present for Ravens fans to go on the road to Levi Stadium to take on Brock Purdy and the Niners. I'm going to go with the Niners in this game, actually. I think the Niners are a very good team this year. I know a lot of people are not as high on them as some teams, but I think Brock Purdy will do enough to get it done at home against the Ravens. Next up, you guys go on the road New Year's Eve. Actually, you guys are hosting on New Year's Eve against the Miami Dolphins. I have this game as a win. If this game is in Miami, I might have thought about taking the Dolphins because of the heat down here on New Year's Eve, but I'm taking the Ravens at home over the Dolphins. And the final game of the season, you guys host the Pittsburgh Steelers. This game is a win. I think the Steelers are going to be good this year, but not good enough to beat you guys at home. So my final record for you guys will be 13-5 this year for the Baltimore Ravens, and I believe that will get you guys a division championship this year in the AFC North. And there's some good teams in the North this year, but I think it's going to be a little bit too much for the other teams to handle this year. So I'm going to go 13-5 for the Ravens, and I think that's going to be good enough to win the division. One extra pick for this weekend. I'm going to go with Notre Dame to beat Navy to start off the college football season tomorrow, 2:30 on NBC if you guys want to watch that game. And also, thoughts and prayers are with Bray Wyatt, with the Rotundo family after losing Bray Wyatt last night. Absolutely stunning news. I was absolutely stunned when I got the text from my buddies telling me that Bray Wyatt passed away. Absolutely gut-wrenching for all us wrestling fans who watched Bray Wyatt from FCW all the way up to where he was a couple months ago in WWE. So my thoughts and prayers are with the Rotundo family. Yeah, it's going to be a really tough time getting over this one with the loss of Bray Wyatt. And I'll see you guys right back here next week as I start my college football regular season predictions next Thursday night, next Thursday morning as I get ready for UCF football. And I'll see you guys right back here next week on Scott's Week in Sports. See you later, guys.